So then we are back with more understandings from the time of the Second Tabernacle services, where you find the Aramaic English translation of the word. This translation comes from the original manuscripts of the prophets of the Israelic lineage. So then we can understand the time of the end. As per Yeshayahu the prophet, we find layers of understanding of the spring feast, the autumn feast, and also the returning of the cities of the Mashiach laid waste from many centuries. As we read it in Yeshayahu the prophet, it's always important making mention of this great prophet, and also Daniel and Revelation, because sections of the Holy Instructions are being revealed or galad. And the force behind making these revealing is Yod He Vav He Galah, obviously, because it's directly related with his holy instructions. And then came out, very importantly, on a very reliable British newspaper online, stating that Iran is involved in buying 10 times 12 digits USDs in Soviet equipment, Soviet arms. So this truly is showing Daniel the 11th chapter, and verse 1:4 stating then later on the kingdom of the north coming with much equipment. So truly is taking place as we speak. Previously, roughly a year ago or so, it was explained many times of the kingdom of the north, kingdom of the south, and kingdom of the east, and the reflected prophecies of Daniel. And glancing at the map, we find then that Turkey is already involved with projects of building a nuclear power plant. And you find then Iran in a very strategic position, because if we take a glance at the map and make a straight line, we ended up in the region of the Soviet Union. So then truly from Iraq, from Syria, Afghanistan, and then towards China, we find in Pakistan, until reaches the kingdom of China. You must have a line of nuclear weapons or then protective measures for later on then the armies of the East until reaching the Holy Nation. So as it was then said before, truly the scripture of Daniel 11 is absolutely fresh, as if it was recorded yesterday. And we know for sure 500 years before the coming of the Mashiach ben Yosef, then we found that this information is pertinent in the first section of the prophecies themselves, and then wisely it was then reflected in the future, only changing the geographical position. So this information is fresh, absolutely important, and some of the arms that they are speaking of is related with the S-300 air defense systems, and also some of the weaponry of the direct combat, such as the T-90 tank. It's obviously a refined version of the T-34 from the time of the Second World War. So very important. And then there is also some nuclear involvement with it, and plutonium and so on and so forth. But these are subsequent situations. But the most important topic is understanding a line from east to west until it reaches the kingdom of China, the kingdom of the east. So very important information. We should be absolutely concerned with helping Africa in organizing their minds, because these are highly sensitive systems. They require, obviously, technologies from other nations, and each of these they require coltan, columbine tantalite, found in the Congo in Africa. Mostly there are other regions that have this mineral, but readily available is found easily in Congo, and they have 80% of the known deposits, and our nation should go there and try at least organizing the area, so then we can have means of exchange using our own money and strengthening our economy. Because later on, during the time of the 11th chapter of Daniel, we find then a retrieval of armed forces, and these obviously is a propulsion of the kingdom of the north. In exchange for these then comes the deal with the money and the exchange. So obviously is worth it, because then we give some of the responsibilities to the other nations and let them deal with, the heavy burdens of monitoring and patrols and so on and so forth. So then this information is absolutely fresh. Later on, we're going to talk more of these from the enlightenment of the prophets concerning the time of the restoration period and the first and second transitions. So please stay tuned, much more coming up.